Hello everyone, welcome to today's video, and today I'm going to be showing you my Wampa Scout Trooper gloves that I've ordered from wampaware.com. In this video, I'm not only going to be talking about the features of the gloves, but I'm also going to show you how to properly measure your hand in order to order these in the correct size. I've noticed a lot of people have been using a lot of different methods, and a lot of people have been over measuring or under measuring their hands and getting the wrong sizes. I've even seen people throw gloves up on the trade forum on bikerscout.net in order to resell them because they measured wrong, so I definitely want to help you guys out and show you how to properly measure your hands in order to get the right size for these gloves. So the first thing I want to let you guys know is definitely on the little cog tool down here, make sure you click that and jack up the settings to 1080p 60 frames per second. That way you guys can see the most detail on these gloves in order to help you make a more informed choice. And for those of you who don't know, I'm doing this as part of a Scout Trooper build in order to join the 501st Legion. The 501st Legion are the definitive global costuming organization for Imperial Stormtroopers and other Imperial characters from the Star Wars universe. Whenever you want to do Star Wars costuming or build a Stormtrooper armor kit, these are the guys you definitely want to go to. And they not only deal in Star Wars costuming, but they also do a ton of charity work as well. Their tagline being, "Bad guys doing good," and doing some charity work myself, they're a wonderful organization to join. I'm not making this video on behalf of them, I just think they're a great organization, and I definitely want to help some future Scout Troopers make some good choices on gloves and other equipment, such as helmets. If you're interested in learning more about the 501st Legion, or if you're interested in doing a Scout Trooper build of your own, I'll go ahead and put links in the description box below to the 501st Legion's website, and also to bikerscout.net, which is the forum section of the Legion that caters to the Scout Troopers. Alright, without further ado, here are the wampaware.com Scout Trooper gloves. Now these gloves are based off of motorcycle gloves that were created by a company called eSpirit back in the 80s. This is definitely a much better alternative in order to get Scout Trooper gloves for your 501st build, but I would definitely also recommend these gloves for other applications, such as they are a really good fall weather glove if you live in a northern state or if you live in a colder climate. Living in Minnesota, I'm always looking for nicer gloves, and these definitely do a pretty good job in mild winter climates. And also being a motorcycle rider myself, they definitely do make for great motorcycle gauntlets. I plan on getting another pair of these as a backup pair of motorcycle gloves in addition to my gauntlets. I'll show you guys my motorcycle gauntlets a little further on in this video so I can give a size comparison to help you measure your hands to order a pair of these. So I'll just go ahead and get in close to show you some other features of it. Here is the palm stitching, and again, definitely crank up the settings if you're watching this on a PC to 1080p so you can get a good look at all the sweet little details there. I'll just work my way down, and then I'll turn the glove around. This is the front side. And you'll notice it's got the V pattern, which matches the eSpirit zipper pattern very nicely. But of course these don't come with a zipper, so you don't have to worry about anything on that. Another great thing about these gloves is I really don't think you have to do any modification of these gloves. I think these are ready to rock and roll. Well, actually, scratch that. They did come with a glove clip on the side, but you can just pull that off. Or what I did was I just snipped it off and then just cleaned it up a bit. So that's really the only modification I think you really have to do if you get these gloves for your 501st Scout Trooper build. Notice it's got the accurate 4 ribs. And what's nice too is even if I clench and make a fist, I'll get in close, it's really hard to see the stitching unless you're right on top of those ridges. So even a little further away, they still stay very prominent. They don't flatten out. There's a nice karate chop view of it. And I'll ball up the fist. Like, there's not much separation on the ridges even if you ball up your fist, which is really nice. Okay, and then if we keep progressing along, you'll notice that it's got the material on the first 2 fingers and the thumb. Now if you go to the 501st Costume Reference Library, the CRLs, it states that in order to get your costume certified, these gloves have to have this material on the 2 fingers and on the thumb. It didn't really say anything about Lancer status, so I think these gloves are pretty much ready to rock and roll as soon as you get them. Don't quote me on that. For more information on that, you might want to contact your garrison leader or contact the 501st directly. So, now that I've shown you guys the outside of it, and do feel free to pause the video at any time if you want to take a closer look at something. Now that I've shown the outside, let's take a look at the guts of this glove. So turning this glove inside out, I'll go ahead and give you guys a close look at the liner. It looks like it's a semi-fleece material. I don't really know exactly for sure what kind of material the liner is, but I will say this, it is warm. It is definitely warm. I plan on doing my first troop with the liner in just to see how it holds up, but I can imagine after a while my hands are going to be pretty sweaty. And, well, I can go ahead and show you guys the tags here as long as that's there. There's Wampa Wear for wampaware.com. And there's the size I got, which is 2XL. I mean, you know what they say about guys with big hands. Gotta buy big gloves. So, I'll go ahead and fold that back out. Another really nice feature that I like about this, and I don't know that if you take the liner out you're going to lose this feature. Some people do take the liner out, I'm going to leave mine in, but what I really like is, here's the front of the glove. On the back, underneath this little slit towards the bottom of the gauntlet, is a zipper. And if we open that up, it is a little bit finicky. But if we open that up, you can see inside it doesn't go all the way up through the palm. You can go ahead and see my finger right in there. So it's like a nice little hidden pocket. So if you're out on a troop and if you're able to leave this mesh part in, you can use that probably to store your driver's license, maybe some dollar bills if you really want to. And that zipper is on both gloves. So essentially you get yourself 2 extra pockets inside of these gauntlets. And if you're doing a Scout Trooper build, you also have the big giant pockets on your cummerbund, so you definitely have some more storage options there. So now I just want to give some general pros and cons about these gloves. The pros are, they look absolutely wonderful. These are as close as you're going to get to the E-Spirit gloves without actually getting a pair of them yourself. And another pro is definitely the price. They do seem pretty expensive for gloves, however for the accuracy and the quality, which is most definitely there, I would say the price is top notch for what you're getting. You're getting a highly durable glove, and speaking of durability, I went to a trooping event local to me and I spoke to every trooper I found. They were all wearing these gloves, and one of them had them for so many years they even forgot what brand they were. And I was able to show them mine, and they said that looks just like mine. I told them it was Wampa, and they said yep, that was the glove. One of the biggest pros for me, other than these being authentic looking Scout Trooper gloves, is simply the pockets in the bottom of the gauntlets. As someone who's a cosplayer and costumer myself, and someone who plans on joining the Legion as a Scout Trooper, knowing that I've done costumes in the past where I have needed pockets or some kind of storage space on the costume, but it wasn't available because I tried to go for detail, it is nice to know that there are options to hold identification, your check card, just anything in these pockets. And people out there, if you're watching this, if you're a customer, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Trying to have any kind of storage on a costume is a huge thing. As far as cons go, I will be honest with you, when you first get these, they do feel really stiff. Even when you ball up the fists, they do feel tight around the tops of your knuckles. Even if you order in the correct size, it seems like you do want to go a size up. However, being 2XL being the largest set of gloves that they have, I'm kind of out of luck. But they do fit snug enough to where it's not annoying, but I'm sure if I take the liner out, it's going to be a lot more enjoyable. Plus, being, you know, kind of a leather product, it's going to take time to kind of break it in because it's still going to kind of have that new glove feel, kind of like that new shoe feel. You just got to wear them for a bit, break them in, and they should be comfortable in no time. Well, I guess I have 2 more cons. The liner itself, it definitely seems a little warm. I mean, for something that you're going to be trooping in for possibly hours on end, you want something that's not going to be too warm, because having all that equipment on, the helmet, the armor, the flight suit and everything, it's going to get warm over time, and the last thing you really want is to have super sweaty hands inside of a glove. The last major, I guess, con I would say about this is because of the stitching of the thumb and the flat part of the hand, if you move your thumb out, the way it's stitched is it pulls inward on this side of the glove. So you can't really do a wide grasp. Not that you really can in gloves anyway, but it just feels like between balling up the fist and having it be tight around this area, and then trying to do a wide grasp and it kind of putting pressure on the same area of the glove, it definitely feels like, not really a design flaw, but it definitely feels constricting. But beyond that, this is an absolutely wonderful glove that I would recommend for anyone building a Scout Trooper costume, or just anybody who's looking for a great pair of gloves. Like I said, this is a great fall cold weather glove. I wouldn't recommend it for super duper cold winters, as I've tried that here in Minnesota and it works okay, but it's not going to be anything like a thin slate glove or something that's really meant for cold climates. And I would definitely recommend for anyone who rides motorcycles. The gauntlet itself isn't wide enough to really go over a jacket, but if you do have smaller sleeves, like a smaller sleeve jacket, it should work no problem. I definitely trust the durability of this glove over my current motorcycle gauntlets. So now that I've shown you guys the gloves, I'm going to go ahead and move on and show you guys how to properly measure your hands in order to order these gloves. A lot of the problems people have, I've seen on Biker Scout, is people mismeasuring, either over or under measuring, and then I've seen gloves even wind up on resale in the trade forum. So now I'm going to go ahead and show you how to properly measure your hands in order to get the right size glove. The only thing you're really going to need for this is a cloth measuring tape. Now don't go ahead and use a Craftsman or a Handyman's version of the measuring tape, you know, that yellow one that comes on the spool. That's a hard measuring tape. You will not get an accurate measurement. You will definitely over measure, since the thing can only fold at a 90-degree angle. You're setting yourself up for a bad measurement right away. So go ahead and pick up one of these. You can get these for $1 or $2 at most at a local craft store. And just so you guys know, wampaware.com deals in inches, so if you're on the metric system, good for you, but we're imperial unit scum here in America, so we're going to go ahead and flip to the inches side of our measuring tape. So what you're going to want to do is start out with a nice open hand, and then you're just going to want to go ahead and just do what you would do when you want to show 4 fingers. You'll take the end of your tape with the metal side and you'll slide it in, and then you'll just want to fold your thumb over to just grab it like that. So it's resting right about in the middle of your palm there. Okay? And you should be able to just hold that no problem like that. Next, you want to come around like this, and I'll just go ahead and roll my hand over. And you just want to come right over the tops of your knuckles at the widest part of your hand. So now you're kind of coming around there. And then you just want to go right along the base of your fingers. And there we go. I'm going to go ahead and hold this here so you guys can get a good look. So if we zoom on in, so I'm at about 10.5. And you want to make sure you keep your hand wide. You want to kind of go wide grasp. It does hurt a little bit in your wrist doing this, but it will allow you to get an accurate measurement. So I'm at about 10.5 inches. So if we go ahead and refer to Wampaware's sizing chart, which is right here, you guys can go ahead and feel free to pause that, but I'll put links in the description box below. 10.5 inches to 11 inches, which is 2XL. So we go ahead and look on the inside there. There's 2XL. And it's extremely important to measure properly when ordering these gloves, because I'll do a side-by-side. Here are my Wampaware Scout gloves, and here's my regular motorcycle gauntlet. Cool, huh? There they are side by side. They look identical. Well, identical in size, not identical as gloves. But if you take a look on the inside of my motorcycle gauntlet, it's just an XL versus 2XL for the Wampaware glove. So I cannot stress enough how important it is to properly measure yourself for these gloves. Alright, well, thank you guys so much for watching today's video on my Wampaware.com Scout Trooper gloves. Do you have any questions about the gloves? Have you gotten yourself a pair? What do you think about them? Let me know down below. If you like this video, please hit the like button, and if you're new around here, please hit the subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. You can also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and also watch me live on my Twitch TV gaming channel. Links in the description box below. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great night.